Hey, welcome to Failcraft Casts. I'm Hammy, hope you're all good. We're returning to our roots in this video and stream. We're going to be going back to a bit of StarCraft, which is awesome. Failcraft was originally Fail StarCraft. And if you go on youtube.com/Failcraft Casts, a whole bunch of text commentated videos analysing my play and what I was doing wrong since then, new units, new abilities, new spells. I'm looking forward to getting back into StarCraft and just sharing the fun of StarCraft with everyone. So we were saying StarCraft is real-time strategy. You battle your opponent. There's a wonderful single player and some really cool challenges, and there's also the arcade. You can download StarCraft Basic Edition or Starter Edition, I think it's called, something like that, for just totally free. And then as I jump back out, you can actually play all of these really cool arcade games. So this bit called the arcade, jump on in here, you can play loads of little versions of fun games in StarCraft. They can be anything from tower defense through to shmups, Japanese style sort of arcade shooters, single unit kind of MOMA type stuff, and more besides. So there's loads of cool stuff there indeed. What we're actually going to do is jump into some competitive, well, unranked in this case 1v1, and what we're going to do is start a little series where I sort of talk about my love of StarCraft, and I try and relearn the game again and see if I can get myself back to further than where I was before. I was always a bronze or silver league player, so never hugely massive, but loved learning and loved getting into it. So StarCraft, we'll play a game where I'm probably going to die incredibly badly. But StarCraft is a bunch of things. You need to be good at a few things. You need to be good at macro. Macro, the larger scale of things. Macro is effectively harvesting your resources and spending them well and in a timely fashion to make sure that there's also an element of here which is taking bases. We're going to be playing a random player. They're reasonably experienced. At level 105, I've certainly been playing a long time towards my level 15. Macro is not only making sure you're producing units in a timely manner, but it's also making sure you have enough resources. As in any real-time strategy game, you farm resources to build stuff, and the stuff that you build with, you fight each other with, and hopefully one of you will win. Simple, in theory. That's macro. There's also micro. Now, micro is the ability to micro control is kind of jumping in and managing your little things. And I need to turn off my general settings quick. This is going to slow me down, so we're going to be behind from the start here. I need to delete all of my hotkeys, restore default values, apply. Okay, that means I'm not going to, I'm already talking to me, I'm not going to reply because it's not through any bad sportsmanship, but because I need to concentrate. So micro is the delicate art of being able to control your units well and fight in battle in a very good way that means that you're not causing yourself any problems. Micro can be down to individual unit control in some cases, but micro is being able to move your units and use them to the best of their ability in any given situation. That's not the best definition, but it's going to have to do for now. So the first thing I'm doing here is scouting. Scouting in StarCraft 2, kind of important. The reason I'm scouting is that I want to see what my opponent is doing. Firstly, my opponent is a random class. I don't know what race they are. So I need to know what race they are. That's going to affect my play a little bit. I need to know what race they are and how they're going to be playing. First things first, I've sent one of my workers here. You can see it's an SCV. I'm playing Terran. There's 3 races in StarCraft. Terrans are Protoss. Terran are kind of the humans, and they have human-style stuff. We can get into this sort of finer points later on when I know what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm playing against a Terran. You can see they're setting up their barracks at the front of the base. They're walling themselves off. I am running a little bit of harassment here, seeing how I can do.
Big job, huh? Move it.
Okay, so I'm causing a little bit of problem. I can scout see what my opponent's doing. My opponent has gone gas. That is an interesting indicator to me that they are going to be trying to pressure me in the early game, and I think they may well be trying to pressure me with airships. So the reason I've made that decision is because gas, if they take a gas, if they build a gas geyser to
game paused.
Okay, so they've paused. I mean, normally just saying, oh, quick pause. Now they should sort of give a warning before they restart. It gives us actually a little bit of time to talk through. So why have I decided, why have I learned something from them taking that gas geyser? So taking gas early you can make a lot of decisions in StarCraft in a real-time strategy as to a build. That's the way that you're going to approach building your buildings, what units roughly you're going to build and when. So you can have kind of a plan. And that plan can change, of course, based on what your opponents are up to. So what I'm doing is setting myself up. I know that by going gas, my opponent is probably going to be, could be going air. They could be, because gas, air units, that root of things needs gas. So what I'm doing is just making sure I'm nicely covered. I'm going to take my gas now. I've taken my gas quite late. What I need to be doing is ensuring that I have,
Yeah, whatever.
something to deal with air units if they come. So if they do come, I'll take an early engineering bay, and that also suits my tactic here of my opponent can see 2 barracks. They might consider that I'm going to be rushing them, putting a lot of pressure on them in the early game. So the next thing I'm going to do is build a reactor.
Insufficient Vespene gas.
Huh?
So I've seen my opponents and I've made an assumption. I've scouted and I've made an assumption. Now I want to hope that that assumption is correct. What I'm going to do is build a reactor, and I have the gas. It's 50 gas, so I'm going to build some more units. And you can see macro-wise all the time I'm churning out units. So the next thing I need to do is see if my opponent is expanding early. Now what an expansion is, you can see they can expand in the back of their base. I can actually expand early. I'm going to go for an early expansion.
Go, go, go!
Not enough
Now
minerals.
this base, this particular map, has some features at the back which allows you to expand reasonably early. So I'm going to just throw down a turret. That's me assuming that my opponent may be going air. I'm hoping I've not made the wrong expansion sort of play. At the moment I'm just trying to get myself built up. I need to make sure I keep building my worker units. I need to make sure that I've got enough supply so that I can continue building units. And macro-wise I need to make sure that I'm churning out units as much as I can. So we're at 100 gas. I'm at a position to build a factory. I'm going to get my second gas up now. I've got myself a reasonable amount of units, and I'm reasonably defended at this point. So the next thing I'm going to do is scout again. I want to try and see if there's any clues I can get, apart from that gas I saw, as to what my opponent is doing. It's also the time where I'm probably going to throw up a factory. So I'm going to start building my units and trying to push towards the next level of technology. Make sure that I've got what I need. So I've got my base building. Now the reason I'm taking this second base early, okay, I did not see that. We've got marauders incoming. They're going to try and put some pressure on me. I can make an adequate response. You can now see that my opponent's plan was to push early with marauders. Marauders also use gas. So because I've seen that scout, I can stop, do what I need to do.
Add-on complete.
I want to kill that depot if they can. I'm going to throw down my supply. 3 of those. Probably take those down. I'm going to chase them off.
Sure.
Rushing in the orders. Should be able to deal with all this. Finish that bunker. So he's managed to chase off my opponent's early attack. Now, because I managed to do that, I would consider myself to be slightly ahead, which is good. So, because we've done that, I've managed to stop my opponent from attacking me too early. Sorry, I'm thinking on my feet and trying to play as we go here. Just going to upgrade
Not
that.
enough minerals.
Not enough. Let's upgrade that. Let's get going. So I've managed to expand and push ahead. So I'm not behind at this point, and we're feeling pretty good so far. So what happened there?
Complete.
My scout was wrong about actually seeing, I thought I was going to see air units, so I prepared for air. But what we actually managed to do was still prepare ourselves with the same units to push away the opponent's initial attack, and that was with marauders, those infantry units you saw, and they had gas. So we're still in a reasonably good position. I'm now going to pop out a tech lab. I'm going to start building more units. We're okay, mate. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to follow a build that roughly allows me to produce lots of infantry. So I'm going to start, here you can see upgrades now. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but the engineering lab lets you upgrade your infantry. So you can see what I'm doing here is just building a ball of marines, starting my troops together, and I'm going to start researching things that help my marines. I'm also setting myself up to various unit control groups, making sure that I can get myself going. Okay, so what I now need to do is scout my opponent's base again. You can see I'm always trying to remember to scout. What that scouting is doing There we go, we've got another bunch of marauders, but I also have a siege tank. I'm going to get into the bunker, send some guys to repair the bunker. Hopefully try and slow them down. So again, no, we've managed to push that away. So my opponent is rushing me with marauders, and they've not managed to do much. Now what I'm doing is build some marauders of my own, build another barracks. So you can see what I'm doing here, is trying to rob things. Now that is a problem. What I've done there is done something called supply blocking myself. That means that because I've not been making my, you may have seen that I had a little supply depot destroyed early in the game. That has meant that I don't have enough supply, and without enough supply I can't continue to build more units. So you can actually see that my opponent's got a bunch of units there outside the front of my base. I need to get myself I need to get myself a starport up, and with that starport up I can continue
Mineral
to
field depleted.
Make some more units. So I need to make sure I'm keeping the build units. I need to make sure that I've got 2 upgrades going. When I've got a good amount of inventory, I've also got this starport coming up. That's going to let me heal my units as well. So we're just trying to keep building, keep stuff going. I've got my supply depots up, but you can see that I'm in the top right of my screen, 46 out of 54. So I need to try and push away those units, which is what I'm going to do now.
Keep your shirt on,
There we go.
Upgrade complete.
Why
So I've
not?
taken back the front of my base there. I'm going to rally everything to here.
Roger that.
Trying to put some pressure on my opponent is trying to keep the front of my base there. So what I'm going to do is see if my opponent has expanded.
Research complete.
And I'm also going to try and get some air up. So down that goes. I'm going to try and build another siege tank. Try and get some more infantry out as well. I'm also going to get a combat shield. This is getting me in a nice position to expand again. Now, by this stage of the game, what I need to be doing is trying to expand again. I need to try and make sure that I'm taking more bases. You can see that I've got a base here. There we go. 1 unit here. Loads of units there. So you see my opponent's taken a third. They've walled me into my base and taken a third. So I need to make sure that I'm also taking a third base. So what I'm going to do is start my third base off. I'm also going to try and push out.
Add-on
There we go.
complete.
I can get 2
Not
medevacs,
enough minerals.
which is what I'm going to go for now.
Add-on complete.
I'm going to try and push out a bit.
Who wants some? Give us your best.
I need to be able to take my third base location, which really is here. So I'm going to rally everything here.
SCV
But
ready.
if I don't have enough units, I'm going to be in a little bit of a problem. The armory I'm putting up there, by the way, is actually going to allow me to upgrade my inventory even further. So what I now need to be doing is seeing if I can do a little bit of stuff to cause my opponents some problems. So they're going to have got a base here. I'm going to see if I can drop there and cause them a few troubles.
This better be
So I'm just going to load up a few marines. I need more marines to replace those marines.
Talk to me.
I'm going to send this ship as a drop out the wing and see if I can cause some problems.
Research complete.
I've got that sorted about yet. Need to get that done.
Ready
So
for
you can
dust
see the
off.
sheer amount of. Now I'm not the most hugely competent
Additional supply
player at
depots
StarCraft, but you can see the amount of things I'm trying to juggle.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Okay, so I've got a couple of different. I've got
Picking
group
up.
1 here, group 2 here. You can see my little ninja raid I'm going here. Now I know you've seen in my base that my
Upgrade
opponent is
complete.
trying to
Now what?
put pressure on me, so I'm going to try and drop everything off down here.
Dropping off.
No air defense, so I can drop all of these off. I
Ready
can
for
cause a bit
dust
of
off.
economic damage. So my mission here is to try and kill all this. Run away.
Where's the emergency?
Okay, now my opponent sent a whole bunch of
Loud
units
and
there,
clear.
so you can see my opponent is also chasing me with units that aren't actually going to kill me either.
Confirmed.
So we've managed to cause a little bit of damage
Let's
there.
go.
I'm going to go back by here, and what I need to make sure is that I'm not forgetting to keep building units in my army.
Additional supply depots.
Okay,
Mineral
so
field
my opponent's
depleted.
okay over there. I'm going to fly that over there, see what I can do. In the meantime, I'm going to throw a couple of these down.
SCV
I
ready.
need to pick this up and expand, so I'm going to go and move that over. So remember, you're trying to juggle expanding your base with building units, with upgrading your units, and a whole bunch of things besides. I don't even have enough workers in that geezer. It's not a very good piece of plate money. Obviously, if I don't have 3 workers in a
Additional
geezer,
supply
then I'm not going to be able to expand and do things
What's
properly.
going on?
When should you expand? When it's safe to do so, but that's a very subjective thing. But the point of that is, okay, I'm going to send this. Now you see I did a little ninja drop on one side. I'm going to try and go and harass on the other side. Terrans, the race that I'm playing, they're very good at this kind of little ninja-y style. Hey, like a boss. How's it going?
Ready for dust off.
Like a boss is a lot better at this game than me.
ETA 1 minute.
Upgrade.
SCV ready.
Right, so at this stage I'm not macroing very well. I need to make sure that I've got even more
What's going on?
unit building structures to build even more units with, and I haven't done that, so I'm going to go and throw up another couple of barracks.
Will do.
I'm going to throw myself up probably not another one of those, but basically at this stage you want to make sure that all of your structures are just building and building and building, and making sure that you keep churning out your workers, making sure that you keep churning out your supply. I've got 112 out of 121, feeling reasonably good there, and at this stage I need to try to start doing a little bit of pressure, so I'm going to
Talk
get
to me.
keeps and do a little
SCV
drop in the
ready.
back here.
You gonna get the orders? Been waiting on you. Die, die, die.
Okay, so we've seen, so I just may as well drop all these off, because otherwise my unit's going to die. We see a big bunch of marines there as well. Okay, so I've got a big bunch of tanks. My tanks could actually be
Mineral
quite key
field
in
depleted.
this confrontation, but also the key thing will be how well our units are also upgraded. So I
Mineral
need to make
field
sure I've
depleted.
made enough. At one stage you need to do a worker transfer. What I'm doing now is moving my workers over.
Upgrade complete.
I'm going to send one of my units to that middle watchtower to make sure that I know what's going on.
SCV ready. Gangway.
So we're okay at this point, I would say.
It's about to get heavy. I'm go. What's going on?
Worker transfer.
Bad news. Ready to roll
Put those out.
Additional supply depots
Supply lock,
required.
so you can see that I've supply locked myself again. Not going so good. You can see on my base there, the worker says 16 out of 24. Now there is a point where you, and I can't remember when it is, so sorry for my, okay, right, we can just see there that my opponent's decided to scan, they know exactly where I am.
Not enough energy.
I don't have enough to scan, but they can see that I'm also packing tanks. There we go. See the big base drop there, they're probably going to go for a big drop, so what I'm going to do is see if I can move over.
Add-on complete. Mineral field depleted. Base is under attack. Add-on complete.
Okay, so the reason that my opponents just won this game and I've lost is because I did not build lock. Okay, so that was a good game. Now,